Today's Prime Minister's Questions was not about answers.
Mr Speaker, he sounds like the comical alley of the cost of living crisis.
That would not have happened, Mr Speaker, if we'd listened to Captain Hindsight.
This must be the Oxford Union debating skills we've been hearing so much about.
Everywhere you look, a Labour administration, it is a bankrupt shambles.
At the final parliamentary fracas before the local elections, party leaders each made their last-ditch pitch, with Labour and the SNP repeating their core campaign messages on the cost of living crisis.
A vote for Labour next week is a vote for a very different set of choices.
Instead of convening a Tory talking shop at Cabinet, the Prime Minister should be acting to help those children and help families through the cost of living emergency.
In contrast, Boris Johnson focused on attacking Labour's own record in local and national government.
Never forget, Labour run Britain in 2010, bankrupt because of what the Labour government did. This guy is doomed to be a permanent spectator, Mr Speaker, because we have a plan to fix the NHS and fix social care. They have no plan.
Now, if we look at the language Keir Starmer used today, he was shamelessly repeating his line that Labour is the party of working people. And at the bottom you can see tax and cost of living featured a lot too. The words Boris Johnson used the most were people, followed by Labour, a sure sign of his strategy, his approach that he believes one of the best forms of defence is to go on the attack. As today's session started, news broke that Conservative whips are investigating claims one of their own MPs was spotted watching pornography in the Commons chamber. It feeds into a wider debate about changing the culture within the walls of Westminster, especially after the controversial Angela Rayner leg-crossing claims in the Mail on Sunday, the source of which was a Tory MP.
I know the Prime Minister will have whipped his backbenchers to scream and shout, and that's fine. That's fine. But I hope he's also sent a clear message that there's no place for sexism and misogyny.
I exchanged messages with the Right Honourable Lady over the weekend, and I repeat what I said to her. There could be absolutely no place for such behaviour.
It was striking that today Keir Starmer was flanked by women, whilst Boris Johnson was surrounded by men. Labour sources suggest that was by accident rather than design. But allegations of sleaze in politics seem unlikely to go away.
56 members of this House are under investigation for sexual misconduct, and that includes 3 of his cabinet ministers. So can he now confirm whether he considers that sexual harassment, apparently unlike bullying and lying, is grounds for dismissal under the Ministerial Code?
Of course it's grounds for dismissal.
That was the final Prime Minister's Questions for 3 weeks. It'll be back after the local elections, and the Queen's speech and the fortunes of all the parties and their leaders may well have changed by then.